Well, the Big East tournament run began today for the Providence Friars as they tipped off with Big East rival UConn at Madison Square Garden. Let's take a look back at that game as we head into the end of the first half. Now, UConn with possession to start. Jordan Hawkins passes it over to Joey Calcaterra, who drains it in from the perimeter. 3 points there, and UConn stays in the lead here, 35-18. Second half, and it's PC with the ball now, and it's a bounce pass in to Noah Locke, who tosses one up for the Friars. PC still trailing, but a little later, UConn forcing a turnover, and it's a couple of passes down the court, and the Huskies have Andre Jackson Jr. wide open with the dunk there. UConn leading 47-23 now. Friars showing some life here in the final minutes. We start with a three-pointer from Locke, and he drains that one in, and it's the next inbound ball where UConn hands it right back to PC. Corey Floyd Jr. keeps it going for the Friars, and UConn is still in the lead. In the final minute, it's a pass out to Alex Caravan, who puts in the last big bucket of the game, and that's it. UConn would advance to the semifinals, eliminating PC 73-66. Sports director Nick Coit and sports anchor Ian Steele were there today and have more from Friars head coach Ed Cooley.
Thank you, Natalie. Nick Coit, Ian Steele with you inside Madison Square Garden in New York City. Ian, what an interesting game this was. Not the result that the Friars hoped for, but silver lining the fact that the second half was completely different from the first half.
This was a 26-point game early in the second half, and over the span of 9 minutes, we saw the Friars play the way that they played last year and into the early part of this year, really looking like that Sweet 16 team that we saw in last year's NCAA tournament. They took a 26-point Husky lead, shrunk it down to 5. This building erupted with the Friar fans finally getting back into it. A lot of UConn fans here as well with this state line rivalry. A great game down the stretch that the Huskies were just too big and made too many shots for PC to overcome.
But those shots are something that the Friars are going to have to take on in the NCAA tournament. That's what Coach Ed Cooley talked about and made a big proclamation after the game.
I talked to our men about the game being long. The game is long, right? It goes fast, but it's long. That's like, there's waves. You got to be able to stand a couple of Mike Tyson swings, right? I mean, again, they were throwing haymakers. They made 13 threes. The fact that we were this close and them making 13 threes is remarkable by the men. So you got to give them a lot of credit. They made some tough shots. They made timely shots. They earned that win. So we'll do the best we can. We'll sit back on Selection Sunday and see where the Friars are going. Don't be surprised if you see us in the Final Four.
Well, okay, ever confident, Coach Ed Cooley. That is a big-time statement, obviously with the struggles the Friars have had recently, but feels good about that second half, and I think that's why he said it.
Cooley said it all week. UConn is playing like the best team in the country right now, and if PC can go toe-to-toe with that team, they can do it against any other team in the country. That's what's giving him so much confidence. The wins haven't been there, losing 4 out of their last 5, but if they can put what they put on the floor here today in a bottle in that second half and take it with them into the big bracket, they should be all right.
Now the Friars await their fate on Selection Sunday. We'll see where they land in the NCAA tournament. That wraps up our coverage here from Madison Square Garden in New York City. He's Ian Steele. I'm Nick Coit. Natalie, back to you in Providence.
Nick and Ian, thank you very much. Switching gears now as the Bruins faced off with the Oilers at TD Garden tonight. The Bees were facing that 50th win of the season, which would have made them the fastest team historically to accomplish that, but they couldn't quite get the job done. Let's take a look at that game as we head into the first period now. Puck is in the offensive zone, and it's Brad Marchand there to pick it up and sends it in. He gets the Bruins on the board first, 1-0. Later in the second period, Stuart Skinner with it behind the net. David Krejci gains possession of the puck. He sees David Pastrnak at the top of the circle, and Pasta beats the buzzer, takes a seat before celebrating the 2-0 lead. Second period now, and Oilers with a breakaway ends up being a 4-on-1 here. Evan Bouchard sends it in, his first goal in 44 games. He brings the score to 2-1. Third period, and Boston loses the puck along the boards. Edmonton scoops it up, and Ryan McLeod with the one-timer. He ties this game up. And it's under 5 minutes, and the Oilers are not letting up here. The puck goes out to the blue line. Darnell Nurse takes a wrist shot, and that's game right there. The Oilers would come back to take the win in Boston, 3-2. That'll do it for sports. We'll be right back.